Welcome to Grace Over Grit and Growth, the podcast where we celebrate women's journeys and empower each other to thrive in our personal lives, career, and businesses. We're two women who are passionate about connecting with and inspiring others in our community. I'm Alita Anderson.
And I'm Monique Fisher.
And today we have a special guest, Katrina Wiburn. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
having me.
Miss Photographer extraordinaire.
Yes. So, well, like we said, we appreciate you joining us today. We're kicking off May. We're talking about moms because it's Mother's Day. You know, May, you think of Mother's Day. You see all the things, the cards and gifts and stuff getting ready. So we want to talk about a different side of motherhood, and that's going to be being a mom and then also running a business, kind of what that looks like. So since you do both of those things,
Yes.
we wanted to just pick your brain and talk a little bit about, you know, what that is so you can share with some people who are also in it and then others that might be looking to get into it. So let them know what that's like. So with that, how has Grace shown up in your journey as an entrepreneur, as a mom? What would you say?
Okay, so yeah, that has been a running thing. Grace has been a running thing throughout my journey.
Okay.
So I'll start off with motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Motherhood, I had to literally step back and say, what's going on? Like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, I wanted this, but I wasn't expecting it, right?
Yeah.
Expecting the things that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I upfront had to give myself grace to say everything don't have to be perfect. I had this idea, you know, like it's gonna be this. So I'm like, straight out the gate, I had to say, okay, I need to give myself grace on this. I need to understand that I may have a list of things that I thought was gonna get done, and I may do one thing on that list, and it's okay. And it's okay. So I just had to figure out and learn ways to give myself grace, but still feel confident as a mother. Now in my business, I would say grace has been showing up as maybe like second chances. So let me explain that a little bit. So that sounds weird, but I was a new mom. I had a full-time job.
Okay.
I was a wife, and then I had a photography business. And you cannot it's 100%. You got 100%. So if you're giving it to all these different areas, I mean, I was honestly just failing. To me, what I thought I was doing, I was failing. And so the grace for me for my business, it was like a second chance for me to kind of look at my business and say, what do I want it to be today? I need to give myself some grace and say, maybe what you did 2 months ago, that ain't it no more. Now it is, you're only going to do this, this, and this, and you're not going to do this. Right. And so just kind of giving myself the grace to make mistakes, to start over, to do things different. And it just kind of settled into both avenues.
Yes.
I just got a quick question. So photography, how did you get to that? That's just
so that one is funny. So I love photography. I've always loved photography. Okay. My mom bought me a camera when I was young, and I used to take pictures, and I used to do it for friends and family. And then my husband actually was like, okay, wait a minute now. You gone for like 3 hours taking photos of people. You getting paid for this? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, he was like, what? Right. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's just for fun. And he was like, no, but people are using these photos. They create memories. Like, what are you doing? So I'm a perfectionist a little bit. And so I went to school and learned about photography, and then photography business was born.
Okay. But it's always been a passion.
It's always been a passion. And I think that's an important part of any business.
And that's why I asked too, because
yes.
that is very
you have
important.
to love
doing that
to do it.
And you can tell in your sessions because well, Monique and I just had a session with you recently. We thoroughly enjoyed. So thank you for that. But we've also had sessions with other photographers as well. So sometimes it comes across as a checklist of things they need to do, and this is what it is, and it comes across as a fun session, organic, where you get people to loosen up and you catch them in their element. So when we were working with you, well, I'll say last time, but I've been working with you forever. So the many times that I've been working with you, it's always like a fun thing where you catch it, you make jokes like, okay, yeah, you stiff, you this, you're that. Like, because you know the people,
loosen up.
like, we don't
you got a hair out of place. I'm like, then grab it, get it. And she
like,
got
can I
it.
touch you? I need to fix this right here.
If you see something wrong,
yes, please.
So I really.
So it comes across as not like a thing for you to like, hurry up, you take these pictures. Like, okay, like where you want to be? Like, stand against the wall. Okay, what angles do you want? I don't know. That's why I'm hiring people. I don't know. Like, So you give that professional touch, but you make it fun and enjoyable, so that you can tell us that you're very passionate about it. So it definitely comes through in your work, and even in the finished job when you look at the photos, you can see it. So
thank you.
It wasn't like when I went to
appreciate
J.C. Penney. It was a whole nother level of experience.
They like stand here, pose left, turn right, and you're done.
That's right.
And you're done.
That's
15
like,
minutes. We got the
fancy.
next appointment coming in.
That's
15
right.
minutes.
I'm like, this fancy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
God.
you.
She was on track. I know. I digress.
Oh, so with that, like you mentioned a checklist of things. It's great. I know you personally, we're friends. So I know that you're very organized. You have your list of things. So yeah. And I think even with real estate, with photography, we are our biggest critics always. But with that, with starting the business and then being a mom, as you shifted, and then as your child grows older, have you been able to shift some of the things back? Like, are you able to evolve and move as your life changes too? How does that work?
It's funny because yes, I am. So my daughter is 7 now,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So we out the Pampers and she can't do nothing by herself.
Words.
She can use words.
Communicate.
She can
Yes.
go off on her own and play.
Right,
So
right.
I just have a
Yes.
little bit more freedom.
Mhm.
And so it has evolved. So maybe using my first statement of a second chance, maybe it's a third chance, because now I can start to rethink things where so to give you an example, I had stopped doing weddings. Weddings take forever. They're all day, like a Saturday or Sunday is all day. And so that's all day I'm away from my child, and it's the weekend. It's the 1-2 days that I have to spend time with her.
Mhm.
So I just completely stopped doing weddings. Now I'm like, oh, I maybe can take a wedding because she's not trying to hang with me no more. She's trying to go with her friends for 4-5 hours,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now it's like I'm learning how to reshape my business, kind of ebb and flow,
Mhm.
as well as still keeping flexibility.
Yes.
That if I don't want to do it, I can not do it.
Yes.
So it's just kind of learning a balancing act of like the new act of where we are.
No, I love that, because I think sometimes we get stuck. Like, okay, it has to look like this, and this.
Yes,
And we laugh because Monica's like, wait, where you at? What you doing today?
I'm in Bloomington. I was like, but you was just in the office. How you get to Bloomington?
Now this one,
I know,
that
girl.
Who you tell? I was like, wait, when you in Michigan?
Look,
Wait, you
if
went
we
where?
was bringing up kids at the same time, and I was one of them comparison people, I'd be like, "Oh, Monique, you failed."
No. So look,
girl,
stop.
she be
No.
everywhere.
So going back to the grades, that's what I said. I wasn't ready for this because
Right.
the leader make it look so easy. Like,
exactly.
I get these kids. We went to the zoo. We went out of town. I did my business. I did this, and I'm like, oh. Did I wash up today? Did I take a shower? Like, wait a minute, look, okay, because the leader, I'm like, you set my expectations.
That's what I'm gonna tell you. You talk about a list of things to do, girl. I want to be with me, take a shower, and maybe do a thing of laundry and something else, girl. And if I got one of them done, hallelujah,
You was doing
I'm
good. You
successful.
like,
Girl, you better come
I
on.
made it.
Yes,
goodness.
She make it look easy.
She does on her calendar.
She
Girl,
But you know what? It's motivational though. Because
is.
it's like,
No,
it is. Like you laugh,
It
but I'm
is.
serious. It's like it made me say, like, oh, I can do this. Like
She
sometimes
is
I'm
a
like,
true-
how am I
she's
doing
a
this?
true
I'm like,
role model, but I'm glad we weren't bringing up kids in the
me
same
either.
era.
Because I'd be like, look,
Baby,
look, we just would have dropped off
we
over
do,
there.
yeah, girl, come on, you doing it out.
Like, you got it, girl.
What's one more?
What's one more?
Which
Which
I
we
know
know.
to say that. That's
She always
funny
say, it's
because
just one more.
I'll be like, we already had an agenda. Come on. Like, she's like, who's the cutest? I'll be like, they brought a friend. It's fine. They
It's
keep
fine.
each other company. We're good. Like the plans were set. One more is not gonna hurt nothing. They fit in the car. We good. We good.
That's
Oh
so
my
hilarious.
goodness.
But on the flip side of it too, because my kids are 13 months apart. So we used to laugh because I would be like, "Oh, we're going to the movies." When I was like, "No, I've been home." Like, I'm like, no. So then she'll be like, "Oh," I was like, Remember them nights when you was like, "I'm going," and I'll be like, "Nope." Now my kids can drive. Now I can do some things. Now you where I was.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm like, it shifts. So you do know that it changes over time, but it also goes so fast. So I appreciate you being able to see how you can still do your business, make it work for you,
Right.
and then also still, do what's important to you, spending time with her. Because sometimes we get stuck in that. We think it has to look a certain way. We have to do 8 hours here, and then I want to do X amount of sessions.
Right.
So the success, the motivation, that changes for a time. Like, what do you want to do and how? So I'm glad that you were able to appreciate that. How do you see motherhood showing up as a business owner? Like, do you see it comes across?
It's definitely different. It's because, I mean, I kind of alluded to it. In photography, you find yourself letting your client, maybe also with real estate, your client kind of dictate a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You call them, they say they want a session, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you come to Wisconsin for a sunrise shoot at 4 a.m.?" It's like, whoa, back then I would be like, well, okay, I guess I can do that. I can just leave at 2:00 in the morning and get it done. And then, oh wait, you want your sessions today? Oh, I mean, you want your images today. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And I would just be flexible, work all night, tired, exhausted, get up and work my job the next day. Now, motherhood changes things. Now I'm like, no, I have a schedule. This is when I'm available. So these are the days that I'm available, and there's no wiggle room. Right. Or I won't say it's no wiggle room. I'm not that rigid, but I'm rigid on things like editing images. If I tell you it's 14 days, it's 14 days. Right. If you needed an image for something, you should just shoot like 2 weeks before because it's 14 days because I've allotted that time into my life. Right. So it's just helped me. It's actually helped me with my business because it helped me make some boundaries with my business. So definitely helps.
Yes. So people know.
And sticking with them.
That's the important part.
Yes. It is because people have to appreciate your time. Because I think a lot of times, I know this happens in real estate. People see the end result and they don't see the hours of work that you put in before, during, whatever. Like, that's okay, right. Yes, I may have taken you on show. And you're like, well, how long did that take? And how long did it take you to do this? Yes. It's like, okay, but you didn't see the preparation. You didn't see the negotiation. You didn't see this, all the things that go into it. And you explain that, and we do explain that when we do like our buyer's consultation of, hey, these are the times. And I'll ask my clients, okay, when are the times you can see houses? When are the times you can go here? Okay, and then I'll know, okay, great. My availability is going to be from here to here. Right. And then also we have leverage, which I don't know if you'll be able to have in photography, but I can say, you know what, you're not going to not see a house because I'm not available. So I may have someone else to take you out on the showing and do something else that's, that's great, and you're fine with that. So we set that up so it doesn't impact them what their end goal is, but it also doesn't impact how I run my life.
But you set expectations too.
Yes.
And that makes for a better experience for you and
no surprise.
So there's no surprise.
There's no surprise.
There's no surprises. But I do that. I have like other photographer friends that I can say, hey, this is not going to work. Yes. And I don't want to leave them in the lurch. Can you step in and do this? Or can you finish editing these? So, I've had to have people edit some things for me or use a company to edit because something happened, Right. Yeah. So I try to still make those goals. But like you said, it's still within reason.
Yeah, because like you said in the beginning, we get 100%, you get 24 hours. So, so I can't add another hour. I can't add another. So let's work with what we got and figure out how that's going to work for us, because that's all that we can do with that. With photography, have you found like with the motherhood, with the business owner piece of it, and then what you do today, like what would be something that you would want to do more of? Like if you could do more in photography, what would that thing look like?
Ooh, okay. So I know that's easy because I've been thinking about this. Wait. I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. I want to throw my ideas out there to people.
Right. Okay, code a little bit. What about stealing stuff?
But no. So one of the things I've always wanted, I've never had, and I've always wanted, is a studio, like a space. Okay. And so I've been trying to reimagine my space now. Like I've always thought I needed to have a studio, like it's my studio, and I want to do this. And now I'm like, you ladies have inspired me to say, and this is honestly, when I came here and I learned about your business and how you were going to utilize this for so many different things, I'm like, well, I don't have to have a studio that's just mine. Right. I could rent a room. I could say, oh, can I use this room for just photography? Yes. Because a lot of my photography is lifestyle photography. So I'm going you in your home, it's outside, things like that. Or I rent a studio, like I rent somewhere. But when you have your own space, you can do it how you want to do it. Right. And so now with motherhood, it's like, okay, I got to handle, that was the one piece, the motherhood was the one piece that I felt like I was missing in my life of all of the things that I wanted to get done. And so now that I kind of checked that one off the list, I'm like, now I can think broader about my business because now I also have a little person that I want to show that you can do things you want to do.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Yeah.
And be that role model.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
Oh, that's cool.
that is where I'm at. So don't be surprised when I come knocking like, oh, let me use one of these. No,
Look,
Like the whole pop-up thing, like they do pop-up stores.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a pop-up space.
Pop-up space. Like today, I'm doing mini shoots just
Yeah.
this day for
Right.
Christmas
And
or
just
whatever.
this day, I'm in this space. Y'all
I
come
love
on
that.
back. Come on now, girl. We birthing something.
Yes.
We are
I've
birthing
been
something.
So
thinking.
that would be nice.
So Trina, what do you do for personal care?
Oh,
How
so
does
I
that-
am
yeah, how does that show up?
avid massage receiver. So no, but seriously, probably twice a month. It's gotten to like twice a month that I get massages.
Okay.
That's like a stress release for me. But also hanging with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
I need to talk to adults.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I talk to little people, so, but no, I need to talk to my friends. I need to vent sometimes. I need to laugh a lot of times.
Yes,
So
yes.
I really think that's a big part of my self-care, just like connecting with my people, having a good time, having fun, going out to dinner with my husband, like just doing the
those types of
things,
things.
doing the nine where I don't want nobody calling me mama during that time. I
Right.
really don't even want nobody saying wife. Nothing. I just want to have fun, that's my self-care. Well, massages I would say that's my go-to. That's my go-to.
And that was my inspiration because
I was going to say this sounds very similar.
I was like, wait, you
similar.
going where? Oh, I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah.
And now I have a membership too.
Yeah, I love it.
That's my thing.
So you all are very good friends.
Yes.
And your kids are different. And so then you talked about when you had smaller kids, how you weren't able to do certain things. Do you find that that's, you really have to schedule? So you're a calendar person too.
Oh, I am I live, breathe.
Yeah,
I like, if I don't have, like literally every night, I sit down because I'm a night person. I sit down and I say, okay, this week? Okay. Oh, next month I'm gonna do this trip. Oh yeah, I have to have it laid out or I can't function. Like I can't function in chaos. Like I need to have it together. So what was the question? Because now I start thinking about everything else.
The balance.
The balance.
She has a little bit more freedom because her kids are older.
Oh yeah. So
it kind of. And so you said girlfriends are so important to you.
It's a plan.
It's a plan.
It's a plan.
So
it's an entire plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to that's what she was alluding to earlier. I would be it'd be Tuesday. I'd be like, oh, me and Jay, we going to the movie. She's like, it's Tuesday, dude. We out. But now it's like, oh, when the last time I've been to the movies, like that. So now I plan. I have a very good sitter. That I actually have two because the leader daughter now is old enough to sit for me. But she sits for me sometimes. Then I have another young lady that sits for me. And so I plan out, like literally I have dates on her calendar right now through June.
Okay.
Because it's like, I want to lock you in this day. And sometimes I don't even have anything planned yet. I just know, and this weekend I'm planning something to do.
Right.
So,
even if it's just being with me.
Even if it's go to the movies, sit up, kick up, go drink something at a bar. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna have to hang out too. We have to go to a bar too. I'm ready. My kids grown.
That's what I'm saying. I'm down.
Oh. And even though I can remember back, like even though in those times when my time was limited, what I will say it forced me to do is, well, not that I have an issue with saying no to stuff, but it makes you reevaluate. Like, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to dinner, cool. Now I'm paying $100 for a sitter. I'm gonna do this, so then I gotta prepare, get all this stuff done. Then tomorrow we gotta do this, and I'm like, do I even want to do all this to get no, I'm good. Like I don't even want to prepare all this to do this. Like before, I'd be like, oh, we have some free time, and y'all go. No, I'm just like, it was an easier no because if I only have so much time to do it, I'm gonna do stuff that I really want to do. Yeah. So whittle some of that out.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. Yes. I had way more yeses. Now I have way more no's.
Certainly. If it was something, if you could sit down with your younger self at the beginning of your journey, whether that be the photography journey or even motherhood, what would some advice that you would give? Okay.
So I kind of got a twofold because I actually thought about this a couple of weeks ago. So this is funny. So I would say the first part. I would tell my younger self to not. Okay, I was taught a certain way that you should do things in a certain order. You should, I mean, I could list them out. Like, you should go to school. You should get a degree.
Mm-hmm.
You should, find a man that you love, and you should, you should do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should have fun, foundation, da 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 da. And then have kids was like at the latter part.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I regret how the things, happened, but I feel like I used that as a blueprint for my life, and I wish I had used it more of like a guideline.
Just a little looser.
A lot looser. Yeah. So I would tell my younger self, like, that's great, but throw in some stuff you want to do too, and make it fun, and change it up a little bit, and maybe move a couple things around, and maybe make some different choices. So I would tell my younger self that. Now, the part I laughed about is because a little while ago, I was watching Love is Blind. That's one of my guilty pleasures. And they have to write a letter to their younger self. Mm-hmm. And I laugh because I'm like, forget that. I need my younger self to tell my 49-year-old self, girl, have some fun. Right. Go out. Stop standing. If you don't like that job, quit that job. Like the things that I would do at 25, I'm not doing now. I'm a little bit more cautious and reserved. And I'm like, man, I need my younger self to talk to my older self. So that's why I laughed. I'm like, I need the reverse. I would flip it.
Yeah.
And hone in on some of that.
I like that.
Yeah. That's, I'm laughing because I'm like, because I'll be like, this time I don't like this. I'm leaving.
Yes.
I don't like it. Like, I have very, I won't say rigid, but I do have expectations and guidelines.
Yes.
And whether relationships with people, relationships with my employers, whomever else, as long as it's, I'm like, no, because I'm like, and it could just be with my background being in sales, where it's something like, I'm like, yeah, y'all need me way more than like. One thing that you can't change is what I've learned and experiences I've had. So I know I'm gonna be me wherever I'm at. Right. So if whether it's here or there, I'm gonna go find out what that new thing is. And figure it out. So she always laughs because I'll be thinking about. She was like, so in a month you're gonna be. I'll be like,
I had this bright idea, and then that's this business. Like, oh, okay, I knew that was happening.
like this podcast.
I think you had an idea.
I'm like, we both kind of had the same idea. It was really, how it came out. And then I was like, okay, well, we could take I got a friend that used to edit podcasts, and so what he said we need to do is which is her husband. And then I was like, okay.
And so we got a podcast tomorrow.
Right. Oh, and then she was like, and we're going to do it by this date. And then something happened.
We had several agents that were starting. So we were training agents that joined us.
Right.
We were getting together some engagements and stuff that we had for that following month and quarter. And so we were just in there like, oh my gosh, these dates are tight. And she was like, what did you know? Oh, and then you were going out of town. Right. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be going on this time there. And so she was like, yeah, we should just push it back a month. And I was like, no, we're not pushing it back. So what we're going to do is just switch the days. So now we're going to do this day, and we're going to still hit the deadline. And she was like, but don't you think that's like, I was like, no, we're going to do it.
Well, we committed to 2 days out of the week on weekends. And so we can still get it.
I said, we just going to switch the days.
You're going to be out that day? Okay, so we're going to switch it to this weekend and this weekend. I was like, okay.
But you know what's good about that, though? It
keeps you accountable.
And it make it happen.
Because
I had so many like, oh, that was a good idea. And 5 years later, but she would have been like, yeah,
she would have been like,
the business would have been.
Gonna do this. And we're gonna be consistent, Monique. I said, yes, we are. Because we don't do that halfway.
Right, we got a choice.
Y'all better give me some grace. Find somebody find me some grace.
I know. You got grace for everybody.
Oh God!
I love working with a leader because she does. She keeps it here, and and when you have a good working relationship too, you don't want to disappoint the other person, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And not that I would not do what I say, because I call myself a wow. You ever heard of that? A woman of my word.
Yeah, she don't play about that. Yeah. That's one thing.
I'll
be like,
do what I say I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You ain't get to ask.
No.
I'm gonna borrow that one. Wow.
Yeah. I'll be like, oh yeah. Like once it says it's not even repeated, like, oh, I remember you said you were gonna do that. I'll be like, oh yeah, Monique said, well, on to the next. Like, I know that's happening. Like, no need to even check. That's the
So it's important to have an accountability partner. Though. Mm-hmm. We joke,
and we laugh because we are very, very similar. But it's funny because we'll shift. Like we'll be like, we're very direct. We're very like different things like that. But then somehow Monique is able to finagle out of her being the direct one, and then it's left on me to be like, it will what?
Maybe they just,
And you become.
I was like, wait,
what? I throw a little softness in there. I throw a little
y'all both can't hit them with
we can't both hit them 1, 2. We can't do that. We gotta massage. It's off the massage.
There you go.
Like,
there you go.
Give him a little grace.
You gotta give him a little grace.
Give him a little grace.
Because Lita, she don't play. She be like, this what they said they couldn't do.
Like, they said they was gonna do it. They shouldn't have said it.
Oh, they couldn't do it? Okay, well, who next? Like,
Babe,
okay, wait a minute.
Who next up the back? Girl, you already know.
Gosh.
So,
That is funny.
We're a good team. It's a good.
Definitely.
And we love having fun at work and being able to still get stuff done. That
We
makes
do.
it not like,
makes
you
it
know,
not
it makes it
like-
enjoyable,
Yeah.
it's enjoyable to come to every day. So I appreciate that. And what we found is that the partners that we have, different extensions of us, have all organically just
Come
fit right in.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's always a good time. And I feel like we're making a difference. And I wanted to mention too, for photography, you don't see that many African American women as photographers. So I think that's a great aspect for you to be able to pour into younger people, or not even younger people. Shoot, people
Just
are issue
people,
that want to
yeah.
do photography and giving people to step out. Like you said, you enjoyed photography, you stepped out, and made it your business.
And made it business. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Even when I went to school. When I went, it was nobody in the class looked like me. It was 42 people in the class. Not one person looked like me. And I'm like, where are they at? Now they are. I mean, of course, we know they are. They're out there, but you don't run across it that often. Yeah, that often. And I love it. And I do get people that will say, like, I found you because I looked in the area and I want somebody to look like me. And it's like, there I am.
And we're getting more and more of that.
Yes.
People who look like them that have done things in whatever area of business that they want. And we need to be out there and represent.
We definitely. That comes across too. We have people reach out to us, agents, and then clients too, to say, you know what? I was looking for somebody to look like me to represent me in my home's purchase and selling my home, or as me becoming an agent. I want to work somewhere where, people understand our struggles. And that was one of the reasons that we opened up the brokerage. We wanted to be representative of our community, and
the experiences that we have.
Yes.
When we sell real estate and how we do it.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because it's not always the same.
It's not.
It's not always.
And it's just like I said, I had an experience with you as with the photography shoot. When I went to JCPenney, they wasn't.
No, and it
was
true.
Exactly what you said.
It's like,
it was like, look here.
They literally, you see their head sticking up, and they ain't saying nothing. They just click. I thought you wanted that little twist sticking up.
Did you think that?
Did you really think that? But yeah, I think it's just a different touch. We know how to move with us, and I think that helps.
That definitely helps. And I think too, the word of mouth. When people are like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get your photos?" "Oh, it was this great photographer, or used her, whatever." So I think that helps too, where people have that trust to somebody they know and value, either seen your work or experience it themselves. That makes a difference. Now, we know as being entrepreneurs that not every day is just rainbows and sunshine, although we would love it to be. On those days when you just, have had enough, or there's a lot going on, what are some of the ways or things that help you to push through it?
This is probably gonna sound like a recurring thing, but I would probably first have to start off saying my village, my people, when I've had moments where I'm like, I just don't want to do this no more. Like I'm over it. Like I'm exhausted, or a client just gave me the flux and just made everything difficult. And, and it just wasn't that serious. And I'm just like, look, I'm done. Like, here are your photos and I'm moving on. And it'll take my husband to be like, you got this. Like, what? Why you letting that stress you out? Like, you good. You did good. You did what you said you were going to do. Or if I make a mistake, I will own it and say, oh, I know I told you this date, but something happened. I got sick. Or, whatever. I'm very, aware of just acknowledging what I'm doing and making sure you are understanding where we are in the process. And so I think my village is always there, helping, supporting, providing guidance, connecting me with people. She and I called her so many times, like, girl, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, well, have you thought about, what about, we just said how she got, did you think about, what about? And I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this. You know what? That's easy. You got, I got this now. Thank you, girl. Bye. So it's like, just connecting with your people and uplifting and definitely helping me grow. And then also I'm a professional. I call myself a professional, student. I love to learn. It's just, that's within me. And so I will go to YouTube University or real university and, and just say, no, if I'm going to do this, I want to know all about it. I'm digging in and I just continue to grow that way.
And that's important.
That is really
important. It is important to continue to educate yourself. And whatever it is, we don't know everything. Mm-mm. And that's what's, well, I ain't going to get on no soapbox and say that's what's wrong with folks. They don't want to.
No, people don't put in. No, that's actually, no, that's true. Because people don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put in the work. They want like you said, they see the end result. You know, I call it like the social media effect now. Like they just see on social media, oh, you got the kids, got the hair, got the two, got the that. And it's like, dude, but that was like, I'll tell people, that was one moment in like a whole week. Like I posted one thing, but the rest of that week was on fire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It may have been a fire behind that photo. You just didn't even see it. You just saw this one moment. So I agree. People don't want to put in the hard work. They just want the effect. They just want the end result. The end results.
But it takes time to build this career. I mean, your career.
Absolutely.
It takes time. And you touched on a good point of your village. It's so important because, like, even when we're starting this, it's a lot of time investment. It's a lot of financial investment. It's a lot of things that have to happen. So if you are not in partnership or have a village that's supportive of that, that can be another, instead of it being a push, it could be a pull, meaning that it just pauses you. So it's so nice to have people in your corner to do that, because you're like, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Like,
I remember she called me about the training when she was going to start training person. You know, I said, stop.
Yeah. When I was first going to a coach, like, when I was a coach, Keller Williams, I was like, I don't know if I can really train people. Like, you said,
because that's what you do now. You literally, she had just told me the story how she had just helped somebody. I said, that's what you trained them. It just went in the class. She's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then of course, look, next week she was the whole training with a team of people. I'm like, of course,
right, exactly.
And you're doing amazing. You got this.
My thing is like, you don't, and that's so important too, because a lot of times the things that come naturally to you, well, for me, sometimes the things that come naturally to me, I don't realize that I'm doing, or that is a gift, or that you can move forward with. And I'm like, well, everybody does that. I'm like,
no. She got a whole training program here. If anybody want to be a She's like, we got module A, B, and then we have I'm like, when did you do all of this?
I was doing this anyway. Now I just wrote it down.
I'm like, what? No, they just be asking me. I'm like, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So yeah.
No, that's her. That's her. But I agree with you. Sometimes you're doing something.
So
it's just natural. It's just a natural thing. And then like that, you was like, oh, that is me doing that. And I did.
Yeah, because I never really thought of it,
but she didn't think about it in that way. Sometimes you just need that push, or for that outside person to see it and kind of help guide you to get there. So,
and I would tell you, we talked about this in one of the early episodes, what my husband said to me, and to you too. You all need to really understand what you've done, accomplished in a year. And stop and celebrate it.
Celebrate
and
the
look
wins.
at it and celebrate the wins. And sometimes you don't do that, because when you're in the thick of it, you're trying to get to the next thing. And then you don't even realize all that you've done. So it's important, and I think that's part of the grace too.
Just
giving ourselves grace and saying, I have done some things. Maybe things are not real good right at this moment, but I've done things, and it's okay. It's okay.
I agree.
And I think the entrepreneurship journey and the motherhood journey mirror each other so well, because there's not a manual for either one.
No.
Because you could say, I'm a photographer, I'm a realtor, and you'd be like, oh, I only work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and oh, you know what? I work 7 days a week. Just come here. It's like, wait, do y'all do the same thing? Yeah, we do, but it's not the same, because you make it what you want it to be. And that's very similar to motherhood, where each child is different. I have multiple, and I'm like, they're not the same. They are not the same. Their needs are not the same. I mean, traditionally, food, shelter, whatever. That's what I'm saying. But the things that they need to grow, education, the paths that they want, they need support in different ways.
And the way you have to show up for them is different.
Yes, it is.
Yes. What works for one child does not necessarily work for the other. And so then you're trying to figure that out. And as your daughter grows, I'm trying to figure
it out, because I just have other people that I, saw, like Alita, like my other friends. It's like, oh, I got this. And it's like, oh, wait, my daughter is, okay, not to say that I'm not sensitive, but I'm less sensitive. She's very sensitive and emotional, and that's not me.
That's the alpha generation, baby. That's that generation.
I'm like,
they just,
okay, I had to show up completely different. Like I literally
Yes.
have to like I have had to pull my own coat and say, okay, wait a minute, that's how I would handle this. Like I can't handle this like this with her.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like I have to show up completely different. And
Yes.
it's a challenge. I have to give myself grace. But I have to give myself grace sometimes when I make a mistake.
As a mother.
Yes.
Because you have to show up for these children
differently. Like absolutely.
And the way we were raised, baby.
Man,
they would be calling up these hotlines.
It's like night and day.
It's like
I said, in my mind of what I thought I was gonna do and be is like completely different.
Girl,
than what
if we
I
said
am.
the things that our parents said to us,
absolutely,
we'd be in jail.
Or did. Thank you.
Or did.
Yes.
They don't know nothing about it. So
not at all.
It's really different.
We have to. That's part of us too. Grace, understanding, and then too having parents who raised you a certain way, right? And so now you're adjusting to how you're raising your child, and your parents may be looking at that saying, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh yeah.
I'm
like,
oh yeah. I ain't raised you like that. No, you didn't. But this is a different generation.
And I found myself saying that to my mom, like, it was funny. I don't think she makes me feel that way. I think I subconsciously feel like I'm doing this because and it's like my mom, she's very down over. She's like, girl, that's your baby. You raise how you want to raise. But I do feel that sense of like I know in my mind, it's a judgment. It's like, should I have done it? So should I have said this? I say something the way I was told, and I could literally see my daughter being crushed, and I'm like, oh, well, that's how I was told to do. Mom, like, girl, like. You don't want to eat that. You just ain't eating tonight. My
that's
like,
big.
so I'm not going to eat tonight. And I was like, oh God, let me just make you something else. It's like it's just different.
Like you up there making different meals and stuff. Y'all eat one thing, another. He wouldn't eat. He'd be hungry. No, you can't let these kids go hungry. I'm sorry.
Because I went to bed hungry a couple times growing up.
Girl, look. Well, I'm gonna tell you about some liver. I told them I'm not eating it. They say you go get a whooping. Whoop me. I'm not eating it. I got a whooping and went to bed.
Didn't eat.
They knew they was dealing with a different child. That was
very similar. I don't even remember what it was. It was something I didn't want to eat. And they were like, well, you're not getting up from the table till you eat it.
Right.
Okay. They were like, okay. I was like, this okay, I guess I'm gonna sleep here. They was like, this fool is still at this table. I'm like, okay, like new day. Like we're doing this again today.
Am I going to school or am I staying right here?
What's happening?
What you want to do?
What's wrong with her? They was like, yeah, okay, whatever. It was like you just were very adamant about like, no, I took a stand. I mean, I'm not gonna say I took a stand, but it was like those consequences. I'm like,
you weigh the consequences, like sit at the table, cool.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay. So
these kids now, that ain't gonna last that long.
But
now, don't put me on punishment, but you go ahead, whoop me.
But look now,
I go upstairs, cried out.
Let them go to school and say, I went to bed and I didn't eat.
You be in jail.
I got the people at my door.
DCFS be at the door.
Yeah,
looking over.
It's a different situation. Now it's like, oh, you want chicken nuggets? No problem.
Right.
Chicken nuggets, So it's definitely different.
But yeah, so I know that sometimes that's a change, thing too.
How you look at stuff.
I just enjoy talking to you. I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to share specifically
Tell
about?
us the name of your company.
And how can people work it?
How we get in touch with you?
Okay, So Moments by Katrina. Moments by Katrina. There is a Moments by Katrina Photography, but that's not me. So I know. I learned this the hard way because people were sending me things like, "You said you was going to be here this time. I never talked to you." Like, who is this? And then we looked up, and the person not even in the same city. But it's just like on Facebook and social media.
Okay.
So my website is just momentsbykatrina.com. But that's ways you can get in touch with me. What else did you want to know?
No, just how the name
in
of your
social
company.
media.
Social media, same thing. Everything is Moments by Katrina. Everything is I kept it real. Yeah, Moments by Katrina kept it real, and I'm sure I'll give you if something ain't right off the top of my dome, I'll send it out. We'll have it listed. But yeah, that's me, and I love photography. I enjoy it. It's fun for me. I love to laugh, talk, have a good time. As you can see, I enjoy being on the podcast. Monique gonna be at the bar. You're gonna see me post about it. But no, I'm trying to think. And you said anything that I will also want to share?
Yeah.
I would say just For me, I don't feel like I learned grace.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, I guess I knew what it was, but I looked at it real surface, like giving grace, like forgiveness, and just like, but it's been real deep for me now. Like, I had one big thing for me is that I needed to learn how to accept grace.
Yes.
I used to feel guilty. Like,
yes.
Oh man, I get to ask them for help. I used to feel really guilty. And it's like, no, everybody needs help. Like, how is that you're okay with helping everybody else, but you feel like it's not okay for you to accept help? So that was just my reality. And so I think that would be my takeaway when I love like watching your podcast, and just grace is always like the forefront of the conversation. And I've really had to do some deep, understanding and thinking of like how I can show up differently with grace for my husband, for my daughter, and for myself. Like, most importantly, for myself, because I think it's, it helps me just be better for everybody else.
Absolutely.
I'm laughing only because I always have a running conversation or a joke with Trina, because I'm like, wait, you doing what? Why? I'm like, what? No. She's like, well, they just call and they say,
I know.
I'm like, do you have to? Well, I really don't have time to do this, and I don't have this, and I'm like, okay,
and so you learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
powerful.
I said I was going to take this. I heard on your podcast that no is a statement.
It's a complete
sentence. I said.
You knew that from hanging out with me.
I know what I'm saying, but like hearing it again, it was just like, that is so true, because Alita, she gets on me all the time. I'm like, wait, why did you agree? You said this, you didn't do this. I'm like, I know, I felt bad at the shit.
Girl, no, it's a complete
I'm like, you said no, you said you wasn't doing, you didn't have time. The answer is no. Keep it moving. I'm like, okay, I got to get better at that. Every year I say, this year I'm gonna do, but she like you said that last year.
No, but you are doing better.
I'm doing better.
Boundaries
This year I am.
Boundaries.
This year I'm
but
doing
you talked
better
about
with
setting those boundaries.
It's about setting the boundaries, because it was starting to affect me, because I'm getting 2-3 hours of sleep because I'm doing something for people, and they sleeping good. Like,
and then half of them problem if you call them to help you with something,
girl, I can't do
that part.
Girl,
that part right there.
So
I have,
as the leader say, cutoff game is strong.
I like that. Cutoff game is strong. I'm just gonna come start borrowing everything.
Come on now, come on,
everything.
Well, I have just truly enjoyed this.
Yes.
Meeting you and having the whole photography shoot and everything. It truly is. She does give you an experience. And I just love it. And I think I got a new friend.
You do.
So,
I'll share her, I guess.
Okay. I got to ask for me.
You gotta ask permission. It's okay.
We'll include her.
We can see if she's bad. We can go into her list, in her calendar.
Oh, good gracious. No.
So,
if you haven't done so, please, if you're looking for any type of photography sessions, you will not be disappointed. I was gonna say she's my family photographer, but my daughter's claimed her as her personal photographer.
Go ahead.
Her personal photographer. But she captures all of the moments. Some excellent books. We got books from every birthday party, milestone, dance recital, so you can look back on it, and it's just fun to do. And like I said, you won't regret it. She makes it an experience. So anything that you need, we'll have all of her ways that you can contact her and see her work in the bio. So make sure you click on that. As always, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So leave us some comments. Give us some suggestions on things that if you're looking to open a business, or questions that you have, or any comments that you want to make on everything that we've shared. So until next time,
take care. Bye-bye.